Hi guys, I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time as a result of several requests that I've had from you to teach you how to prospect to students. Now the title of this video is How to Prospect to Students Like a Beast, and I feel I'm fairly qualified to do this training, and the reason for that is that I was actually a university student for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I was a university student for a very, very long time, and when I was a university student I had a business as well, so I was prospecting to students as a university student. Once I left university, I had a portfolio of properties that I was renting out to students, and henceforth I was still advertising to students at university and colleges. So I've had students as clients in my businesses for a very, very long time, and I've been very, very successful at doing that. Henceforth I'm doing this training, and hopefully this training will help you in your business. Now I've written down a few notes because there's quite a few things to go through. So basically this video is not just for students, but also for those of you that live near to universities where you can potentially prospect to students, and those students will become your clients. Now in some cities in the UK, there's not just one university, there's several universities. For example, in Birmingham we have the University of Birmingham, we have Aston University, and we have Birmingham City Universities. So there's 3 universities and multiple colleges. You can actually use these strategies that I'm going to talk about today, not just for universities but also for colleges as well. Now primarily this discussion or this training is going to be based around marketing, how to market to students. Now the first thing that you need to do is you need to create a flyer or a newsletter that will basically indicate your services to the students. Now your flyer, obviously the first time you do it, it's not going to be perfect, so I would not get hung up on my flyer from the outset. What you'll find is that over a period of time your flyer will become more and more professional and more and will basically tie in with your students' needs. So it's actually a case of how shall I put it, increasing efficiency. So the longer you do this for, the better your flyers will become and the better your marketing strategy will become. But the most important thing is that you need to start. So number one, you need to start marketing to students. There are, I'd say, millions of students at universities all over the world, and many students, once they find something that they can be very, very good at and successful at, they talk to other students, and those students in turn will talk to other students, and henceforth you can get a lot of prospects becoming clients just through universities and colleges. And that's why I feel every single person watching this video should learn how to do this. So you've got your flyer, your newsletter in place, and there's 2 ways of promoting your services. You can go offline and you can go online. So I'm going to start off with the offline approach first. One of the first things that I noticed when I was a university student was that a lot of people hang around during break times, during lunchtime, primarily around university buildings. So these could be buildings, faculty buildings, these could be libraries, it could be the Students' Union. What you need to do at popular times is hand out your leaflets to students. So I would produce maybe 1,000 or just as a test, maybe 100 to 500 leaflets, and I would start giving these leaflets to students. So you're meeting and greeting students. In some cases other students will want to speak to you, and in a lot of cases they will just take the leaflet to read when they get back home or when they get to wherever they're going. So I would start handing out these leaflets to every single person that you meet. Even lecturers would be interested in the product that we've got. In this case it's trading, and obviously trading can make you financially free once you learn the skill set and learn how to do it. So I would actually give these leaflets to every single person that walks past me. And once you have a team of you doing this, once there's more than one person that's trading with you, I would do this as a team effort and target different locations of the university. So whatever I'm talking about at the moment will take you around, in my opinion, depending on the size of the university and the university population, 2 to 3 days. I would do this every single month as a minimum. Ideally, you want to do this every week or every 2 weeks, but as a bare minimum, you need to do this every single month to gather momentum in your business. And if you were to do this every single month, I can guarantee you to a very, very good degree of accuracy that you will absolutely smash it. You will get so many students that are trading with you, or have joined your business, and as a result of it, you'll be an awesome and amazing success. And the reason I'm saying this with such confidence is because I've done this. I've done this over 8 years, in fact longer than 8 years. Even when I was not a university student, I was marketing to students who were my clients. So I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and I feel I'm fairly qualified to teach you and show you how to do this. So you've got the meet and greet where you're giving out your leaflets for a couple of days every week or every other week, and you will get people that are interested in your services. Now, the service that I would market would actually be, I've put it down as weekly trading meetings or meetups. So what you want to do is you don't want to sell anything when you're giving out your flyers or through your online and offline promotions. What you want to do is you want to introduce people to the concept of trading. You want to introduce people to the concept of doing this part-time during their studies. And also it's something they can do and they can actually earn a living and become financially free from. A lot of students work in bars and restaurants when they're not studying, and the income they derive from that employment is nothing compared to what they can achieve from this opportunity. So I would play on that. I would show people, basically I would introduce people to the concept of trading and ask them to come to my weekly meetings. Initially, you may only get one person, and certainly when I was doing this a long time ago, sometimes no one would turn up. But it's when you're persistent and consistent in your efforts, and you're doing this every single week, day in, day out, over a period of time, momentum will develop, and you'll find a lot of students will actually turn up to your meetings, and henceforth you'll get the momentum you're looking for, you'll get the prospects coming in, and they will in turn become clients, and you will become extremely successful in your vocation. Now, on if I stay with the offline course, obviously you're doing the meeting and greeting, so you're giving out flyers. I would also start plastering my flyers on notice boards. Now, in universities and colleges, there's not just one notice board, there are hundreds of notice boards that you can use to market your services. In some cases, in some departments, they may ask you to get your leaflet stamped, just to confirm that you are a student of that university. And in some cases, in some places in university, they may ask for a small contribution, so you've got to make a small payment. But I would take that on board. I would do it. I would plaster my flyers all over the place. Now, there are many places in university where you can actually put up your leaflet and or flyer. Obviously, you've got the departmental notice boards, and again, with many buildings at university, there are many floors. And when I was marketing to students, I wouldn't just put my notices, my flyers on the ground floor. I would go to every single floor in every single building in the university. That's why I recommend you do this at least once a month. It does take time, but what you'll find is that once your momentum develops, you'll get a lot of prospects becoming clients as a result of it. So I would target every single floor, every single notice board that I can find in any particular departmental building should have your notice on there. And the notice, again, is an invite to your group meetings, your group weekly meetings, where together as a collective you can learn to trade. So you're targeting the departmental buildings, you're targeting the students' union. The students' union at university has a lot of footfall. The students' union has a lot of notice boards. So again, I would plaster my notices on the notice boards in the students' union. Obviously, you can't put your notice or leaflet on every single notice board, but there are communal notice boards that you can use to target your products and services, and by all means I would do that. I would look at the university shops. A lot of universities have shops, and again, those shops will have notice boards, and again, I would target those notice boards with my offering. I will also go to halls of residence. For example, at the University of Birmingham, I'd say there are tens of halls of residences. There are a lot of them. So again, I would take a day out and go to every single halls of residence, and I would find their notice board and I would pop my leaflet on those notice boards. I would ensure that my leaflet is colourful so it gets noticed. You need to make it, a fun notice. Obviously not monochrome. Try and make it attractive to the eye, because there will be other posters on those notice boards as well, and you want yours to stand out. So I would look at that and ensure that the halls of residence are also seeing what I'm offering. I would go into canteens. A lot of the canteens have notice boards as well. So I would target every single notice board, assuming you can do this. In some cases you might not be able to, but most cases you can. I would put my notices, my leaflets, on every single notice board that I can find in a halls of residence and canteen. I would look at also other places like libraries, I've talked about canteens already, but also laundrettes. Laundrettes have notice boards, and there are laundrettes at universities. So I would target those notice boards. I would also look at student housing locations. For example, in the University of Birmingham, Selly Oak is a well-known area for students. I would target those houses. So I'd have those leaflets posted in those houses, and again, I would do this on a monthly basis. You don't just do it once. You have to ensure that you are consistent and persistent in your efforts. So I would target the student houses and post every single month in those houses. And again, I'm advertising my grouply meetings. I'm having, my group weekly meetings. I'm having weekly meetings where we can collectively learn to trade, and again, you will find that people will be interested. And when you're consistent and persistent in your efforts, you will get mass momentum. Initially, you may only get one person turn up. Initially, no one may turn up. But when you're doing it over and over again, over a period of time, you'll get a lot of mass momentum from students. And you'll find that your group weekly meetings will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you get many prospects becoming clients on the back of it. Now, I've talked about student housing locations. Also, I would target shops, post offices, laundrettes, train stations, bus stations, if you can do that in those locations as well. So I would look at where the university is, look at the locations where students are generally living, and then I would target those areas. So again, if I look at the University of Birmingham, you've got Selly Oak, you've got Selly Park, you've got Harborne. The University of Birmingham has a medical school. The medical school or hospital has communal notice boards as well. Again, I would target those as well. So do not leave any notice board unturned. I would target every single notice board that I can. Obviously, there are some notice boards, I've said this before, that you may not be able to post on, but again, I would check and target every single notice board I can find. And this offline effort is very powerful, and I've used it multiple times in my businesses when I was a university student, and also once I'd left university and I was targeting university students to become my clients. So it's very powerful. You need to own that university, and you can do it through offline marketing that I've just talked about. Now, on the online side, obviously you're probably already using social media, but whenever you're a student, you may get access to bulletin boards. And certainly when I was a student, we had access to an intranet and a bulletin board. So you may be able to target bulletin boards with your offering. So again, depending on the terms and conditions of your course, if you can do that, I would do that. You may have email lists that you have access to. Again, what you're offering is a free service. It's a free weekly group meeting where you get together and you can collectively learn to trade. So there's no cost involved. However, if any prospects want to become clients, then obviously there's a cost for the training, but they will join on their own volition and depending on how they feel. But what you'll find is when you're doing this weekly, people will join because it's a given. Now, you may have email lists, and again, the consensus is that you're looking for like-minded people to trade with. You're not trying to sell anything. You're trying to engage with other students, and what you'll find is on the back of that engagement, these students will become clients. That's very, very important. You will have access to email lists. So your course, you will get access to email lists. And again, depending on whether you can do this or not, I'm sure in some cases you can offer your services. But because you're not really selling anything, there's no reason why the course director would not be happy with it. But generally, what I tend to say is try it. And if someone says, you can't do it, then fair enough. But there's no harm in trying. What you have to do is you have to continue to do this. Try again until you fail. And what I've found again with marketing to students is that you have to be persistent and consistent. Do it every single day. Be persistent in your efforts, be consistent in your efforts, and you'll find this does work. We've got sports centres at university as well, and obviously you can target those as well. Now, again, like I said before, what you need to advertise are your weekly trading meetups. You are not advertising a paid service. It's a free service where you get together with other students and collectively learn to trade and build your business. Very important. I would also join existing university clubs. There are many clubs at university. I think at the University of Birmingham, which is one of the universities that I attended, I think there's over 100 clubs and societies. I would join the business club, I would join the entrepreneurs club, I would choose the finance club if they have one, and I would choose those clubs where I feel that people may be interested in a part-time income from trading. I would join those clubs, and once you are part of that club, you can talk to other people about what you do. And again, it's about engagement. Once you are engaged with other students, once other students know you and trust you, they will buy from you. You have an awesome service. The service that we provide is unrivaled in the world. I haven't seen anything like this, and we need to talk about this to other people. And what you'll find is that when people understand the positives in this service, they will buy from you. Now, in addition to joining existing clubs, I would also join some popular clubs. There are some clubs at university where they may only have 5 or 6 members. However, certain clubs may have over 100 members. I would seek out those very, very popular clubs, and I would join those clubs as well. And again, it's all about networking. Once you're networking with other like-minded individuals, number one, you will become confident in your services. The more people you speak to, the more confident you will become. And this is an ongoing service. I don't care what your business is. You need to be confident in talking. When you talk about your business, you need to be confident when you present your products and services. And once you do this over and over and over and over again, you'll become better at it. You have to keep going. You have to keep your consistency in play, and you have to be persistent. Many people in business will say no to you, and it's those no's. Some of those no's do become yeses, but you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you need to overcome those no's. And there are I would say millions of students all over the world, and at university, I don't know how many students there are in large universities, I'd say tens of thousands in the largest. You have a captive audience, and it's your job to target that audience with your services, and they will, once they understand what you are offering, a lot of them will convert. Now, again, what I'm saying is you need to own that university. So just make it absolutely clear to yourself, I'm going to own this university. You're going to target clubs, you're going to target existing buildings. I would also create my own university club or society, and there's no reason why you can't do this. If there isn't a trading club there at the moment, I would by all means create my own. If you don't want to create your own club or society, now when I was at university, I was also the president of a society, so I know how these things work. And if you don't want to create your own club, I would continue with the free weekly meetings. And the great thing about university is there's loads of space. You do not need to spend any money to hire a room. You do not need to go into a hotel to host your meeting where you may be asked to buy a lot of drinks for everybody. You can do this for close to zero cost. You can just sit in the Students' Union. You can sit in your faculty building in a common room. I would be consistent and persistent in my efforts and have these weekly meetings. So again, I'm just going to give you a quick summary of what I've just talked about. I've been through a lot. It's very, very important that you take this on board. And again, if you are a student, say in Leeds, I think has 3 universities as well. I would target my own university and then go and target the other 2 universities. If you're in Birmingham, the same again. If you're in London, there are multiple universities. I would target every single one of them over a period of time. I'd create my own schedule, so I know that I'm doing UCL today. I'm doing Imperial College next week, Queen Mary's the week after, and again, it's all about persistency and consistency. What you'll find is that a lot of people give up. You are not one person to give up. You will do this over and over and over again until you're successful. The product and service that we are providing is unrivaled in the marketplace. It's one of the best products and services that I've ever seen. People, once they know about it, once they understand what it can do for them and their family and their loved ones, they will want to buy into it. It's your job to sell that product and service, and you can do that through engaging with students, through persistency and consistency. You will do it. So I've talked about targeting people through offline measures. So I'm talking about notice boards, departmental notice boards, student unions, club notice boards, general notice boards. I would look at the university shops, the banks at university. I would look at halls of residence. Again, there are many halls of residence, and you may not be able to get into all of them, but the ones that you can get into, I would target those. I would give out flyers. I would meet and greet people. Always remember, this is a business, and you need to be business minded. You need to have the grit to make this work. You can't just come into this and one day decide to target the university departmental buildings and then not do it again for a whole year. It's not going to work. It's when you're persistent and consistent in your efforts. I keep saying this. You do this once a week and you will see momentum in your business. When you get momentum in your business, you'll be shocked and surprised by the results that you achieve. I would look at the online measures as well. Look at bulletin boards. Look at the intranet. Do you have an intranet that you can target? Do you have email lists that you can target? Are there WhatsApp groups for your university course or your society? Can you target those? I would look at joining existing clubs. I would look at business entrepreneurship clubs. I would choose the most popular clubs to join and join them. I would network with every single person that I could find. If you have like weekly meetings, like I know some churches, sort of church societies, they meet weekly, and again with Muslims as well, they meet on Fridays. If you can be part of that as well, that will certainly work. And again, I'd give out flyers during these congregations. I would look at where there was a lot of footfall, and I would stand outside and just give out flyers. And again, it's all about grit. It's all about pushing forward when everybody else will give up. You need to keep going, and this will hold you for life. I would advertise the weekly meet. I would not sell anything. Very, very important. You're not selling anything. All you're doing is having a meeting once a week with like-minded individuals where you can learn to trade. Some of them will want to join and pay for the service, and when that happens, it's great because it will help you and help them as well. A lot of people won't want to join, but I would continue and have my weekly meetings going forward. Now, you can do this as a student. Many students join university societies. Many students go to clubs, pubs, bars every other night and waste the hours away. A lot of students have a lot of time, and if you can just focus on your business for, I'd say 3, 4, maybe 5 hours a week, even if it's a day a week, if you can do that, you'll find amazing momentum in the business. And I can guarantee you, everything I've talked about today, these are all things that I personally have done. If you are able to do this week in, week out, you will have an amazing business. I hope what I've talked about makes sense. I hope you can take it on board. And as with most things, you need to try it. Don't just reject things, because you think it's not going to work. My recommendation is try every single thing that I've talked about and make it work for yourself. And do not give up. There will be times where you will have meetings and you're the only person in the room. This has happened to me, but I've continued and kept going and kept going and kept going. And it's when you keep going, when you are consistent in your efforts, that you will see the results. My name is Dr Jav. I hope you've learned something from this video. And again, whether you are a student or not makes no difference. The student population is huge and it's growing, and you can market to them and absolutely smash this business. And that is the intention. I want this to work for you. Let's make the most of the students in this world, and let's make it happen. Any questions, give me a shout. My name is Dr Jav. Thank you for listening to this video, watching this video, and I hope to work with you very, very soon. Thank you.